really need reminding of just how destructive he can be. When he's on his day, how do you stop him?
He's very, very difficult to control. Those long levers, he's able to find boundary hitting options that other players can't reach. He does have a deft touch as well. It isn't all about smoking it down on the ground, but when he's in the mood, if he gets himself in, if he gives himself a little bit of a chance at the beginning of an innings to get himself in, assess the conditions, and then start to find the middle of the bat, he's almost impossible to stop. It's a question of whether you can remove him before then, or you can force him into doing something rash before he's got himself settled.
Do you think mentally he's been a bit worried and a bit confused and a bit sort of emotional about what's been going on of late?
Absolutely. His name's been in the press again for all the wrong reasons. Everyone's focused in on Ben Stokes. He's sort of gone in under the radar, but not in the last week. He's popped his head up above that radar. You can imagine him here fielding. He does field on the periphery as well. That will get a mention. Both him and Stokes will have to cope with that for the rest of their careers, but the best thing he can do is get Notts through to a quarter-final. He is that sort of player that he can go a month without getting a run and look like an average cricketer, and then suddenly, on a day like this, he can set the whole stage alight, and Yorkshire will want him early.
David Willey was outstanding yesterday when Yorkshire beat Northants. He's captain, and he was man of the match yesterday.
Just such a combative player, isn't he? You just feel that the higher the stakes, the more difficult the situation, the more people are writing him or his team off, the more chances are that he'll come out and do something like this. Very, very destructive at the top of the order. With the ball, he'll have an enormous role to play as well, particularly in that matchup with Alex Hales with the new ball. So yeah, I mean, it's a big occasion. I'm really looking forward to seeing how he reacts to it, really. He's not done a lot in the way of captaincy. And perhaps his style will either drag everybody along with him and bring the best out of them, or it will frighten the life out of them all. We'll see which one.
I think he is very important with that new ball burst, because he does swing that ball back in, and we've seen Hales over the years. If you can get that ball coming in and bowling in through bat and pad, that is an option for Willie, definitely, if it swings.
Well, David Willey has won the toss, and Yorkshire will bat here at Headingley. Winner takes all. Winner goes through to the quarter-finals. Meanwhile, down the road at Trent Bridge, tomorrow there's that small matter of the third test match between England and India.
All Out. Unibet sponsors T20 on Sky Sports.
Your odds from William Hill lets you create and bet on your own markets. Tweet us direct from the William Hill app or from Twitter, and we'll reply with the odds. Join over 500,000 Your Odds customers and view their markets. Spot something you like? One click, it's in your bet slip, and you're on. More markets, more choice, more to celebrate. William Hill. This is more.
So much confusion. Like this thing, that thing, the next thing. Experts with no expertise. Fake news. A billion views. When did we choose to have so much choice? Woe betide you picked the wrong path, the wrong deal. It's a steal. It's not real. Of course, there is a way for the confusion to clear. Don't be confused. BeConfused.com.
You ever thought about a twirl?
No.
Yeah, me neither. It's weird though, isn't it, how they make them with all the curls and twirls and swirls and that?
Yeah, you should look it up on the internet.
I reckon it's chocolate wizardry.
You think wizards make twirls?
Yeah.
Lance Clients. He's looking for a partner. I'm gonna do whatever I want, whenever I want.
We're going to war.
Brand new ballers,
Thursday at 10:10 on Sky Atlantic. And if you missed the start of Brand New Ballers, episode 1 is available now on Catch Up TV.
He's gone! Unibet sponsors T20 on Sky Sports.
Brilliant from Chris Wokes. Finds himself on all 3 honours boards. 5 wickets, 10 wickets, and a Test 100. An outstanding performance.
That's how to finish off the game then. This has been a steamrollering by England at Lord's.
Well, it certainly was, and England can take the series if they win this third Specsavers Test match down the road at Trent Bridge, and it all starts tomorrow. Sounds like Virat Kohli will be fit. Our coverage starts at 10 o'clock in the morning on our cricket channel. Now, Joe Root has said Ben Stokes will play tomorrow, but should he apologise for that incident in Bristol?
I think that's up to Ben to do in his own time, and when he feels the right occasion is, I'm sure he'll say what he feels he needs to say. I can't speak too much on that. That's his decision to make, and when he does that, it's up to him. But I think more than anything, my focus has always been on making sure the 11 players we do take onto the field are absolutely ready to perform for this team, and I feel that he's in that place at the moment. I think he's just desperate to get back playing cricket and make that obviously his main focus moving forward. I sat him down yesterday, just me and him, and asked him where he was at. He told me that he's desperate to get out there. He wants to obviously put in performances and concentrate on his cricket now. Felt that he was ready to play. We obviously assessed his fitness and stuff as well over the course of the 2 days and made that call. So we've, as a team now, just got to make sure that we have 5 days of good solid cricket. Got a huge opportunity in front of us, but ultimately we've as we have done so far, we've got to start well first morning and then try and carry that forward. Probably one of the most difficult selections I've had to make as captain, actually. I think the difficult part is the fact that everyone's performing so well, and I think some people would see that as the easy option to leave Sam out, but he's offered so much to this bowling group, and it's about us as a squad performing collectively for 5 games. And he's played a massive part in the first 2, and it might be that he comes back in later on. On this occasion, he's unfortunate to miss out, but what he's done so far has been nothing short of high class. So that's a testament to how well we've been playing, and it's a really good sign for this group moving forward.
Joe Root speaking at the press conference today down the road at Trent Bridge. Stokes in, and it's Sam Curran who misses out.
The first bit was a no-brainer, really. Once he was picked in the squad, it's like having Botham or Flintoff or someone like that Test match squad, and then turning and saying, "Oh, we picked you in the squad. We're not playing you." Once Root had the conversation with him last night to say, "Are you mentally right to take on India in a Test match?" and Ben Stokes said yes, they had to pick him once the selectors had made that decision. The other decision was an incredibly tough one. I think Joe said it was the hardest decision he's ever had to make as a captain. Whoever they left out was going to feel very hard done by, whether it be Butler, Pope, Wokes, Curran, whoever it was, didn't deserve to be left out. Sam Curran definitely doesn't deserve to be left out. And if I was Ben Stokes and Ben really wants to change his ways and have that sort of Ricky Ponting moment of I need to do something about myself and my behaviour at times, if he thinks that, he needs to look at Sam Curran tomorrow morning and see a lad that's been left out for no reason, a lad who was man of the match 2 games ago, who gave absolutely everything, who put England 1-0 up at Edgbaston, and he's not playing now. And if ever there's a moment, Ben needs to look at him and says, I was responsible for that. Tomorrow morning, when that first ball goes down, that's exactly when.
How will Sam Curran take this?
Should he take it? No, I think he'll take it. He'll take it hard, because it's always difficult to be left out of a team at any time, regardless of whether or not you've just put in the 2 best performances of your life in an England shirt. But I don't think there'll be any sort of animosity between himself and Ben, or towards Ben in the situation, because all of these guys will know that at certain points there are going to be players who are preferred to them. That's just part and parcel of being a professional cricketer. And if you look at it in a very, very cold fashion and completely disregarding what's happened to Ben Stokes, the guy that's sort of taken Sam Curran's place in the side from the start of the series is actually Chris Wokes. Chris Wokes' performance at Lord's having come in up on the rails in the side, is the one that's perhaps made that choice possible. Ben Stokes was in the Test side. He bowled England to victory in the first Test match 2 weeks ago. So if you just disregard all of the behavioural issues, it's Chris Woakes that's taken Sam Curran's position. Very, very tough on the young lad, but he's a young lad. He is immensely talented, and his time will come again without any shadow of a doubt. I suppose the one thing from a purely cricketing point of view is, did England need to go with 4 right-arm seamers when they had the choice of having that variation in Sam Curran with his left arm? That would be the question that I would ask. And the rest of it has been taken care of in terms of the courts, number one, and the ECB need to sort out what they're going to do in terms of their disciplinary, whether or not this is over and done with, or whether or not there is more to come. That's their issue. That's not a cricketing issue.
That's down the road. India need to start strongly over the next day and a half. Otherwise, this Test tour, could start doing what England sometimes do in Australia.
Well, the first thing they need to do is read conditions better than they've done so far. Edgbaston, where it was dry, they should have played 2 spin. They've been very reactive. Second game they go to Lords, because they should have played the extra spinner in the first game. They play their extra spinner there, Kuldeep, but it doesn't spin, and it's conditions like this that seam and swing and move all over the place. Read that pitch well, read the conditions there well, and then bat well. Get first innings runs. Remember, on day 1, day 2, they were in that game against England at Edgbaston. They need to put in a performance with the bat. It can't just be Kohli against England with the bat.
Here at Headingley, it's Yorkshire against Nottinghamshire. Whoever wins this one qualifies for the quarterfinals. We're going to have a great evening. It's chilly, but the crowd is pouring in, and we've had some great games and fun throughout the Blast this summer already.
Welcome along to the Vitality Blast 2018.
Get ready, the carnage is about to begin.
That is a sensational catch from Grant Elliott.
And he goes big straight away. Lots of catching opportunities for the crowd this evening.
Got him! It's another hat-trick in the Blast this year. Explosive bowling from Sussex. Timar Mills with a hat-trick.
Oh my! Can you clear out the pavilion? Aaron Finch is trying to find out.
Oh, brilliant. What a catch. The steward likes it.
It's the fella from the Arctic Monkeys has plucked one out of the air.
On Fuller, and he can't handle the pressure. Finch, on the other hand, is absolutely loving it.
I think we might have got another catch here, Mel. Hold him all over the place.
I got it.
No! It was a matter of time, in all truth. Oh, that's a lovely shot. Bell at his very, very best.
That is a lovely shot.
Ian Bell on the charge.
Am I allowed to dance at the home of cricket?
You can do whatever you like.
Really?
Dwayne Bravo.
Okay,
We're going to see some.
That is a Calypso Collapso from Hampshire. Brilliant. Absolutely superb. Worcestershire are putting on a display out there worthy of the Harlem Globetrotters. Does he get there? It's a good throw the dive. Well, we're going to have to go to the third umpire. What drama here at Chelmsford. It's going to be a tie. What a throw under pressure that was. Whacked away into the crowd. Oh, that's 6. Nailed it. Lancashire have won an absolute epic. What a game. We've had a fabulous evening's entertainment.
Wide. Unibet sponsors T20 on Sky Sports.
The hot summer savings are here at Oak Furnitureland. So it's the perfect week to get a great new look, all in solid hardwood with something extra. Proper savings, like these. It's delivered free too. So get your hot summer saving now at Oak Furnitureland.
Is there anyone who doesn't want me dead?
Next time you get in my way, I will not be so gentle. Girl problems again.
Shut up!
Hands up!
Marvel Spider-Man, only on PlayStation. For the players.
Unbelievable.
Too right. Betway's 4 to score game has rolled over.
What?
This week's hotting up with the rollover at 50 grand. It's free to play, and all you need to do is predict the first goal scorers in the 4 selected matches.
Really?
You bet. And it'll keep rolling over until there's a winner up to 250 grand.
Electrifying stuff.
Gonna love the game. Betway.
Lying in my bed, I hear the clock tick and think of you. If you fall, I will catch you. Time after time.
It's important to show you care. That's why PlusNet won't raise prices on their brand new fixed price broadband contracts. PlusNet will do you proud.
That's T. Unibet sponsors T20 on Sky Sports.
Yorkshire have won the toss and they are going to bat. They play Nottinghamshire. Whoever wins this game will qualify for the quarter-finals of the Vitality Blast. That's in the North Group. What about the South? Well, there is a massive game down at Hove, a massive game for Sussex, and Dave Fulton is our man down there in the sunshine.
Yeah, it already is a massive game. It's a sellout as well, and not to be unexpected, I guess, given the magnitude of this match. 2009, Sussex won this competition. They failed dismally really ever since. And with the signing of Rashid Khan, they put a lot of their eggs in this T20 basket. But the big news from Hove tonight is that Rashid Khan doesn't play. They've got a series against Ireland, and he's been called back by Afghanistan. So unfortunate timing from a Sussex perspective. Sterling of Middlesex also plays in that series, but he's going to play this match and then fly out afterwards. Khan has taken 17 wickets at an average of 14 and an economy rate of 6.5. He's going to be really badly missed. Will Beer comes in, so like for like of sorts, and he is Sussex's all-time leading wicket taker. And the news from the middle is that Middlesex won the toss. They got to the bowl first. They've been dismal in this competition. They are rock bottom, but with Morgan and Sterling and co. No Milan, he's out with an injured finger. They are very dangerous indeed. You expect Sussex to prevail, but if Middlesex are going to have one game, it could be tonight. The other thing to bear in mind is that the shark tank here, Sussex have been dreadful. They've had 6 wins, only one of them has come at home. A lot of teams have pulled the club out of the shark tank, so we'll keep you updated throughout the year.
Dave, thanks very much indeed. Dave will keep an eye on all events down at Hove. Sussex win that one. They go through. If they don't, well, then all eyes will turn to Cardiff and that game between Glamorgan and Surrey. Meanwhile, here it is Yorkshire to bat first. Now, remember I said earlier that the only way Birmingham could qualify is if this game was a tie or a no result. Well, all of a sudden, a fair amount of rain has just appeared out of nowhere on the predicted radar. There is a few spots in the air, so we will keep our eyes very firmly on the game down the road between Birmingham and Worcester. If this is 1 point each at Headingley and Birmingham beat Worcester, they would sneak through on net run rate. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed, everything stays dry. It'll be exciting, whatever happens, that's for sure. First commentators, Rob Key and Nasser Hussain.
4th of July, teams have been slugging it out up and down the country in the Vitality Blast. Group stages has all come down to this, especially for these 2 teams, Yorkshire versus Nottinghamshire. It is all or nothing, a chance for the quarter-finals for one of them. Yorkshire won the toss. David Willey said, we will have a bat on a used surface. We saw this pitch in the Roses Clash just a week ago. Adam Lyth, Tom Kohler Cadmore, Carter to start. Nice freebie to start off with this.
Yeah, on debut as well, Matt Carter. First ball in T20 cricket for the county, down the leg side and away for 4.
A little bit of spin there though. Just a hint. I reckon this pitch is going to turn. It's fairly dry. Clouds are starting to build. Rain needs to stay away.
Catch it!
Chip leading edge, easy as you like, they're underway.
Well, that's a pretty good comeback. First ball in T20 cricket, 4, second ball wicket. And you can see the way they're celebrating. They've enjoyed Carter's success, nervous, first delivery, second delivery, just sticks in the pitch. And Mullaney is not dropping that. 2 balls, 4 wicket. Kola Cadmore goes for 4. It's 4 for 1.
Right now at Wren, all our kitchen ranges are available with up to 5 years interest-free credit. And all our kitchens are half price when you buy 5 or more units. Like this beautiful shaker kitchen for just £3,040. Plus summer sale now on.
Captain David Willey in sooner than he would have liked. He is in good form. He's got a lot of runs this year, taken a lot of wickets as well. 35 runs. Blasts the wicket, just a soft dismissal. Just the start that Notts wanted.
Yeah, not what Yorks wanted, not just the wicket, but also the pitch. And is it just gripping a bit? 3 spinners for Notts, none for Yorkshire. There you go, just sitting in the pitch again.
That's right. When I was doing the toss, you sort of looked down and it looks like it's going to turn, really. Slip in as well, that's a good move. David Willey likes to try and play shots. Still worth attacking.
Well, usually they have Rashid and Rafiq. Rashid obviously away in test match duty. Rafiq, that's a surprise for me. Carter, after that 4, wicket, ...
Willey just having a look. Straightforward, just the odd ones gripping. One that's gone on with the arm as well. Good start for Carter.
Slip out. Would you take a slip out after 3 dots and a wicket?
Just going on with the arm as well. What a start that is for the man on debut. 4 for 1. This is him early. Big Luke Fletcher giving him a big smile and a pat on the back. That will settle his nerves, especially after the first ball wasn't a good one, but then you saw just spin, good pace as well. 5 miles per hour. No pressure on this fella. Dan Christian described him as the best death bowler in the world. At the toss that was, he's got a fine player to contend with. Adam Lyth had a good year, top run scorer for Yorkshire in the blast.
Yeah, it's these two that have gone well, really well, especially of late. Last night they played well together, 2 lefties. Lyth, you wouldn't think would be a T20 superstar, but he is in domestic cricket. He really does hit it well. Some big scores, and they need something from both of these this evening. One good thing, and they know behind them they have the class of Kane Williamson that does read and play conditions very well. So they can still go hard because of Williamson.
Another look. This feel with David Willey, it's just all or nothing. Not the type of player who's going to look to just deflect the ball and manoeuvre it around. It's either going to be blocking or slogging.
And for that reason, he mustn't start thinking as a captain, I'm in early, shall I just knock it around? He's got to stick to his game plan. What would he do if he was just batting number 3, not as captain? He would just go for it.
The other thing as well, we can feel it in the pod. There is a huge gale going down, pretty much straight down the ground. I don't know if that really showed it in there, but you're going to have to be smart what end you're looking to hit. Field set, third man is up, cover is back. Fine leg up, deep square leg back. That was for Willey. Pace is yet for Gurney, 78 miles per hour.
Yeah, probably not pitch you want to prepare for knots, actually, with 3 spinners and the likes of Gurney, who takes pace off the ball. Mulaney's very good on surfaces like this. Keeper comes up. Sodhi with all his variations.
Pitch actually would hate to face Mulaney. Sort of surface, a bit of pace you'd quite like. Gurney's worked that out pretty quickly. That one a little bit quicker, 83 miles per hour.
Wondering if the keeper can come up to the stumps, really, because already Lythe has been on the charge. Just with the lack of pace, stumping opportunities.
Wasn't far away. Gave himself just a bit of room outside that leg stump. Slow ball again. Lythe wants to come back for 2. David Willey says no. 2 done, 7 for 1.
Just a reminder of the teams. A very strong-looking Yorkshire side, even with their international cricketers away. And Notts were the white ball specialists of last year. Won both white ball tournaments. Wonderful finals day. 3 spinners in that lineup. All 3 spinners are different, but I reckon because they've got 2 left-handers in, skipper Christian has said, I'll stick with my off spinner.
Long off in play. Square leg as well, just in front of the square.
Oh! Like a slip, maybe take mid-wicket out, but it does look like Carter occasionally just undercuts it. That's 2 deliveries in a row now where he just slid it on. Mid-wicket could go into slip. Just for the one that does grip.
Nicely played. Man out on the sweep is a lot squarer than that, so he's played that beautifully.
Gonna have a meeting after this shot. Christian, Mulaney, Carter all get together and say he sweeps well. I think we're going to need a man on the sweep, Skip. Looks like long off is going to go into that position. Hales moves round from cow corner to the sweep. Ricky Vessels makes the long journey from long off to cow corner.
Bad plan. Now you're saying use your feet.
Oh, lovely kick, lovely kick.
Slid that on with the angle.
Yeah, no one out on the offside, Rob, so he's got to be very tight on his line now. Got to bowl stump to stump, can't get outside off.
It's good. Great battle, that battle of cat and mouse. He used his feet. There's been just the odd one offering at times. Spin away from the left-hander. On with the arm, just going down. Impressive start so far. Carter. Prepared to just change the pace at times.
Catch him!
Necessary throw at the stumps, doesn't hit them and ricochet. 3 done, 12 for 1.
This group a little bit more clear than the South group. In this group, all they're looking for is who's going to join Durham as the second home qualifier in the quarterfinals. And really, I know there's a little bit of rain around, but really, who's going to be the 4th qualifier out of these 2 Yorkshire Notts? 2 big sides. Can you remember who you went for when you were asked all those months ago? Rob Key, who did you go for to win the tournament? I do not want 6 different counties at this stage.
Notts
and Sussex with their bowling attack.
They're just coming up now. They're starting to find a big game as well.
Again, sign of the ball sticking in the surface. It's a really good start, and Lythe has a good long look at it. Fletcher's going to say, I'm going to bowl a few more of those cutters. Bowl it into the surface as well. Think about getting up above the eye line, just actually get the surface and the variation. See it now, he's walking back like an offspring. Trying to get any sort of clue. So you went for the champions win again, did you? Go for an outside bet of any kind. You do these 3 or 4 teams. I should do the south approach to the north. Not just the fact the whole the south in essence around the empties is gone. Kent, Sussex because of their bowling team. The entire south. Durham has been the surprise so far. The surprise package already qualified at home. There's a man out there, it doesn't matter. Dropped in the crowd, first bit of wind. Yeah, on a slow, tired pitch, the first thing you got to do as a bowler is bowl straight and offer no width. The first time Lythe got any kind of width, he's nailed it, and he's nailed it for 6. Cold evening, dropped. I hope the young lad's okay. I think that's hit him hard, and a physio is running around in that direction. Good to see. Get the physio there as quickly as possible, and he's getting there quickly. Lythe is worried about it. You can see from Lythe's reaction that he's concerned. The lad's up and he's walking away. That's good to see. Just looks like those slow balls are just stopping in the surface with a little bit of bounce as well. I mean, it's only 71, 72 miles per hour. Just the overspin on it. He's quite a big, tall lad bowling it into the pitch. Pitch as well and conditions, but you have to just reassess what you think a good score is. Times you're looking at 180, 190, it might actually be that 160. Conditions remain the same under the lights, the last innings. Doesn't skid on, then you start reassessing, you start talking in the middle. Just watched at the other end. The majority of the last over, he gets a single of the last one. 20 for 1.
The Premier League continues all weekend, live on Sky Sports Premier League. Take your seat. These crimes were perpetrated by the same person. He's deliberate, brutal, fascinating.
Gone in the power play. Carter continues so far. 2 overs, 1 for 9 on debut. Really 2 from 7. I think he's going to get away with this just enough. He's back for a couple.
Yeah, it's so tempting for Willie, isn't it? Mid-off is up, mid-on is up. And he saw him coming. Just bowled it slightly short to drag his length back. Spinners nowadays with this field will bowl it into the surface, say you're going to have to pull me, maybe sweep me.
Or you can just stand and smack it out the park.
Well, he didn't bowl it into the surface, he tossed it up. And that's why that's dangerous. That's why spinners nowadays drag their length back. And you look at the spinners we have nowadays, the likes of Rashid Khan,
This was old-fashioned toss it up. Willie has just cashed in. See ball, hit ball. Make him feel better, David Willie. 10 from 9 now, how quickly it can all just turn around. You get that boundary, you just feel, just relax. And Christian now goes back to long on.
Get it!
Big cheer from the crowd. Samit Patel. They're going to enjoy Samit running down there. Nobody could do anything about that. Short, wide, put away, beautiful.
And Christian's now thinking, why did I bowl in that extra over? Carter had good figures. Just the third over was a little bit of a luxury. And this over's gone 2-6, 2-4.
Come back for overthrows. It's good work by deep mid-wicket, getting round as quick as he could.
Western Terrace are getting involved here as well. They've been quiet for 4 overs and all of a sudden they're awake. And anyone there in the background is going to be getting some stick for the rest of the game when Libby goes out there.
Better over for Yorkshire, 36 for 1.
Early wicket of Kohler Cadmore. Carter with his first T20 wicket. Good partnership, these two. It was these two last night. Very fine left-handers. Water's taken over from Rob Key. You've been on a bit of a weather watch. What do you reckon?
We're going to get a little bit of rain. How long or for how hard, but what it might do is if they're playing a little bit of drizzle, it might just grease the surface up, might make batting just a little bit easier. Those cutters certainly seem to be leaping at the batsman. Just that one over extra, wouldn't it? He was trying to get out of Matt Carter. Big pressure game for him. And I wonder how big an influence Samit Patel could have on the game tonight. You mentioned at the start of the programme, loves a TV game. Yeah, he's got a pitch that might turn, and he bats well on pitches that turn. It's my early man of the match. He hasn't done anything yet. He's always man of the match when our cameras come.
As long as you didn't interview him, he'll be fine.
Christian was singing the praises of Harry Gurney as a death bowler. It's gone to death in the first 2 deliveries of this over.
It's surprising, you look at the surface and you think, bowl it into the surface, but maybe with it being the last over of the power play, he has a feeling that Willie's going to come really hard at him and he's going death. Remember, at this stage, you're only allowed 2 outs, so it's not normal death bowling, it's harder.
You just keep bowling the cutters into the surface, or have you got to vary it? You've got to keep the batsman guessing a bit.
Predominantly cutters and the odd Yorker. You know with Willie, he's not much of a scooper or a reverse scooper, so he can have fine leg and third man up, which is what they've got. He's more of a bludgeoner down the ground.
That was a change up. It's directed. Bovrils arrived. I think we're on the
best thing about Headingley, you get a good Bovril up there.
Sharp. Sounded really sweet. Down the hill will take some stopping. Fielder does extremely well. Live is quick. Come back for 2.
Good cricket all round, full, so you can set a field to it. Good shot, strong shot from Willie. And excellent from Mulaney at long on.
Gurney's protection on the boundary is long on and cow corner, straight cow corner. Bowled, excellent. Saw Willie backing away and followed him. I wonder sometimes why bowlers don't try and go to death bowling earlier in the power play if it's going around the park.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing is what I said about the field restrictions. You're only allowed 2.
Yep.
Imagine now Butler would have been scooping away already.
Change. And work down to long on. 41 for 1 after 6. Very good over, just 5 runs coming from it. After on debut was trusted with opening the bowling and reward straight away. Simple catch for Mulaney and the wicket of the dangerous Kohler Cadmore. Live tried to sweep him and then he managed to get that one into the crowd for 6. Fortunately the young lad appears to be okay. Willie took the strong shot down the ground. After was given his 3rd over, which was probably just one too many for a young lad on debut. Captain's taking responsibility now. He's into the attack from the Kirkstall Lane end. 41 for 1. Setting a score on this pitch is not going to be straightforward.
It's still a quick outfield here. It's always a good place to bat. Even on a surface like this, the ball just disappears, as we've seen from Willie and Lythe.
He's been in the action in the last 5 minutes or so. Look at this field now. Long on, deep mid-wicket. Deep square leg, fine leg is up. 3rd man. Point on the fence.
Lythe is asking the question, what is wrong with that ump? Neil Bainton, good Essex man. Maybe not on that occasion.
Heave across the line.
Lythe's ticking here, the wide. Then the big shot. Opportunity for Notzi, and David Willey goes down and has a word. See, he's ticking.
Wants 2. Will get 2. Good running. Nice placement too. Weighted it perfectly, Adam Lythe.
You think about Moores coming up. I mean, whether it's a different era now, but if you go back to Jack Russell, James Foster, Chris Reed himself, Moores has taken over from. They would have been up by now. There's no real pace in the attack on this surface. Already there's been 2 or 3 people charging down.
Well, the difficulty for Tom Moores is that one's gone through nicely, and if you also think of the cutters that Luke Fletcher bowled, it stood up. So there's some bounce. So that's very difficult for a keeper to deal with. You think of Jack Russell standing up back in the whenever it was, 90s, 2000s, down at Gloucester to Marker Lane, Smith there. There's no bounce, was there, at Bristol? He might have given it a crack, but he'd have a helmet on. Gone leg side. Didn't sound like he got all of it. I think that's Hales. Oh, well done. I think, no. Yes, he's waiting for his teammate to do the throwing in. That was excellent from Alex Hales.
I think he's hurt his hand there, and they're going to have to check it. He wasn't sure about his feet. He's hurt himself. They'll definitely check it.
Oh, that's brilliant athleticism. Fantastic. saved the 6. We saw an exceptional catch from Jamie Overton on the boundary last evening down at Canterbury. That was too much to ask Alex Hales to cling on to that. But he saved some runs with an outstanding bit of fielding. 46 for 1 here after 7. What's happening down the road at Edgbaston? Worcestershire are 66 without loss, so they're going nicely with Moeen Ali 38 not out. Worcestershire win that one. They will qualify with a home tie. They're pushing for a home quarter-final tie. As are Kent. Essex is 69 without loss, with Adam Wheaton 38 not out at Chelmsford. Morgan won the toss and are batting. They're 71 for 3 against Surrey. Lost to 22 for 2. So the Aegeus Bowl. Sussex is 79 for 1. So Worcester going okay. Sussex going okay. Surrey going okay. And if Sussex slip up, then the winner of Glamorgan Surrey down at Cardiff will qualify for the quarter-finals. Sussex going okay, but no Rashid Khan, which joins me. Got some spin from Sodi. What's your early assessment of this pitch?
Well, apart from the obvious that it's been used and it's a week old, very, very surprising. Yorkshire opted not to play a spinner at all in their line. And that's why Sodi, albeit that he's a wrist spinner, will make the ball spin on most surfaces. 17 wickets of knots in their campaign so far. He's going to enjoy bowling on this. Really has just got to fizz it into the surface, get plenty of revs on it, get any flight on it, and let the pitch do the work.
Really trying something violent over the leg side, just difficult to time the ball. There are spots of rain though in the air. They'll try and keep players on. One just helps them actually now to get a bit of moisture out of the skin of the batsman a little bit. In front of a Western Terrace crowd that's been on the gas for a couple of hours.
Thankfully not. Well, not recently anyway.
Going down and high as well with a good over. Just 3 runs from the 8, 49 for 1.
Poke, sniff, ouch, find yonder, see wonder, drop everything, get lost, head for the hills, find new wings, go after the goosebumps, never stop discovering.
Last evening at Wantage Road, David Willey and Adam Lyes smashed it to all parts. Yorkshire won that game, but they had to get into this position. The winner takes all against Nottinghamshire. They're finding it just a little harder this evening. They're going okay, partnership of 45, slightly more than a run a ball. It's taken 47 deliveries. But changing ends for Nottinghamshire.
Both teams keen to bat tonight. The toss with Rob Keane. Yorkshire won the toss. David Willey made that call. I suppose they might change their minds if we get an interruption. It's the other thing, the other risk you take. Batting first, fear there may be some rain around. Reduced game, a reduced run chase can favour the side chasing. So much at stake. These decisions are straightforward. .50 up for the home team. Fletcher's first over. Employed the off-cutter. Got a little bit full and wide, and Lyons smacked him over back at point for 6. Speaking, when he was length and back of the leg, a bit of pace on. It was hard work.
That's why I think Tom Moores is not coming up to the stumps. That's suppose the question. It's a very legitimate and good tactic in one-day cricket. The length that Fletcher needs to hit is just a bit shorter. He needs to pull the batsman back into the crease. Well, that's gone up. Hales is going to watch it sail into the crowd. Keep your eye on it in the crowd. I think they're all okay this time. The young lad that did get an injury earlier is being treated, so fingers crossed he's fine.
The sweetest of strikes from Adam Lyth. Seam up, ball right up there in the slot. That is beautifully struck.
Slot.
Slotage. Saw Nottinghamshire play a home game against Worcestershire a couple of weeks back. The pitch that had been used before was the world record pitch, 481 serve. Been used a couple of times and looked a real mess. Notts made the mistake on that day, bowling first, pitching the ball up, looking for Yorkers. Back of a length was the key. Pitch and the variations in the bounce do the business for you.
He hasn't got that, and it's gone absolutely nowhere. Like one of my cover drives, that. Butch didn't get outside the circle.
Well, stung the hands at back point at least. But that's what I'm talking about. Back of a length, Willie's trying to set himself to play a cross-batted shot, but has absolutely no idea what pace or what height the ball's going to come off. Get it up there too far and just hit straight through it. Normal delivery.
Good hands in front of the Western Terrace. 59 for 1. 10 runs from that over. That 1-6 was massive influence. It was a massive 6. It was just the wrong area for Fletcher to land it. Want to drag it back a bit. Plenty of batting to come. Fantastic. Kane Williamson is down in next. Then Balance, Tattersall, Bresnan and Plunkett can certainly take the long handle to it. 59 for 1, and some running repairs to David Willey's bat. You used to have the old cricketer's survival kit in your coffin, didn't you? Which had all sorts of things that the whole dressing room required. Tape, scissors, chewing gum.
Tweezers. None of it was to do with cricket.
Ewan Thorpe always had, Ram Prakash always had some bat tape or a
their
spare.
stuff was to do with cricket.
Well, that's true. That's what smashed it the other day in the blast. He hit 9 sixes, got off the mark with a single, and then hit 9 sixes. That's the way to do it. Looks on that pitch like the sun was coming out. It isn't. It's grim. Sodhi to start his second. First one went for 3.
Catch him, fish it out. Oh, yeah, boy. Pass that, boy.
A tall man for a leggy. So he sort of holds it down into the surface. There's not much up and down, flight and guile. That's fine in this form of the game, particularly on a surface in a pitch like this.
Go on, what?
Googly. Not sure if Lyth picked it, but he dealt with it fair enough.
But again, short, you kind of get away with it, don't you? Ball stayed down from Sodhi. So Lyth wasn't able to get underneath it and really punish the short delivery. cagey stuff at the minute. You feel the atmosphere in the ground is quite tense. Something's got to give here.
Nicely played. Knew that the sweet man was very square and the short fine leg was quite fine, and he's placed that beautifully, Adam Lyde.
Yeah, high quality stuff from Lyde. It's one of the deep corners of the ground here at Headingley. Boundaries have not been straightforward to come by.
Yeah, only 4 4s and 3 6s in the innings, and we've had 9.5 overs. What we aren't going to get is any over-rate penalty runs, because they're rattling through the overs. They're bowling nearly 16 an hour.
Well, the lesson was learned from last night then, wasn't it?
Quite. Catch is the call, just short. Just short. Fielder does extremely well. Matt Carter on debut didn't panic, did the right thing.
Yeah, we're getting the bird down there in the corner. Same as turning out for Lincolnshire, in front of the Western Terrace, but he does well.
Another cry catch it. It might fall short again. Scamper back for 2. Really is trying absolutely everything here.
Just again, a lot of bat speed, a lot of effort. Just not being able to connect cleanly with the ball. It's the sort of pitch where you can quite easily lose 3 or 4 wickets in no time, I reckon. But recalibrate your sights a bit.
Okay.
Googly to end the 10th, so we're halfway, 69 for 1. Yorkshire are 69 for 1 after 10 here at Headingley. Sussex in the South Group. 107 for 1 after 9 overs and 3 balls. So they're going great guns. That's against Middlesex. If Sussex win that, they qualify from the South Group. Oh, the bat's gone one way, ball's gone the other way. It's gone absolutely nowhere. Shot, Wardy.
He's not ripped a ligament in his wrist here, David Willey. All of that speed and strength coming through. The ball hitting so high up on the bat, so much further up on the bat than he imagines. And the impact has thrown the bat out of his hand.
That's better. My word, that's better. What a contrast. That sounded magnificent.
Got that one. Slap bang in the middle. Really does hold nothing back when he strikes it, David Willey. Mums and dads diving for cover, and the kids are bearing the brunt of it out there at the minute.
Keep your eye on the cricket. Hasn't got all of it, but he's got enough of it. That's in the crowd, and drops in the crowd. All of a sudden, having thrown his bat around on the leg side, he's managed to find his range. 4-6.
Too short. Last 2 deliveries are too short. The pitch is slow enough that the ball will just sit up.
That fella brought his own pillow and whacked it in front of his head.
Shocking hands out. It is a bit cold, Mike.
Oh dear. Remember those days fielding in the slips or backward point pre-season. He's hurt his hand. Get another cool beer in your hand, that'll be fine. Ice it that way.
It's all right, mate. Nobody was watching.
Change of field. Mid-off is going back onto the boundary, and third man's coming up. Down the ground, Bosch. Another 6. Second of the over, and that's a big one from David Willey.
Well, if at first you don't succeed, try again. David Willey has swung at everything. And all of a sudden he started to fire in the middle of the bat. Expensive over this from Christian. Could it be the one that gets Yorkshire rolling?
Good comeback. But it's been an excellent over for Yorkshire and David Willey, 85 for 1. So his timing was nowhere at the start of the over, and then perfect come the end.
One of those fellas, when he hits the ball, David Willey, it's like there's a reverberation that goes around the ground. He makes a slightly different noise from other people. It's just all violence.
Sweep again, down to Carter, who gets it on the second attempt. Got some other scores. Durham's game with Derby has been delayed because of rain. Essex against Kent. Essex 117 for 2. Glamorgan 112 for 3 at home to Surrey. Gloucestershire 63 for 2 against Hampshire. Sussex 124 for 1. Chipped into the leg side and a comfortable couple. Sussex put runs on the board. I know they've got Rashid Khan, but their bowlers should close that out.
Yeah, absolutely right. Difficulty for them in the early part of the tournament. They just weren't scoring the runs. They weren't calibrating their innings well enough to get enough for their bowlers to have a go at. They figure that out now, and it makes them very, very dangerous indeed.
What a shot that is. Didn't try and overhit that, Adam Lyth. Beautifully done.
Now the Vikings are on a charge. Just managed to get through a sticky patch where could have lost 2 or 3 wickets. Rode that out. Now they're flying along. Dangerous times for the Outlaws.
Oh, well done, Tom Moores. That is an outstanding take. I don't know if he's got it down in time to get the stumping, but that was brilliant glove work. He had so far to go up and then come back to the bails. That was brilliant wicket keeping.
Yeah, it would have been very easy to have worn this one in the chin. No ball's absolutely fine. Really did bounce. Brilliant take. Took so long to get it back down to the stumps again that Willie, having flung himself 180 degrees with the strength of his swing, had enough time to shout in.
You should have that on the big screen as opposed to not out. In. A 1-2. Lyde is definitely coming back for 2, and he's very quick. Willie makes it home comfortably as well. 96 for 1 after 12.
We're calling a vote of no confidence on my dad. It'll be hostile, hostile, hostile.
We're eating feminist style.
Well, almost like we're a family.
You let them, and then you watch them squeal.
Oh, Yorkshire have just put the afterburners on their innings. It's static through the first 10. The last two taken 27 from Nottinghamshire, combination of Sodhi and Dan Christian. And because of that, the latter has turned to Stephen Mullaney to take the pace right off the ball.
Surprised it took so long, really. There's only 4 overs left at each end, unless he's thinking of him bowling out all 4. Experienced campaigner.
Straight up in the air. The change has worked straight away. Where was he? Asked Nasser Hussain. Here I am, says Steve Mullaney.
Where was Tom Moores? There were a couple of them looking at each other. Yours, mine, yours. And he's swirling. That's what Moores said. It went in a bit of a gust of wind. It started swirling. They looked at each other. And in the end, the dive was good enough. Mullaney, 1 ball, 1 wicket. Lyth played nicely. 44 from 36. 96 for 2.
Right now at Homebase, there's unmissable deals for your home and garden. Get in quick for 20% off garden and DIY power tool brands like Ryobi, Azito, Karcher, Bosch and more. And hurry in for 3 for 2 on all paint and wood care. Offer ends soon, so don't miss out. Homebase, always your home, always
Well, you can have 2 more different cricketers at the crease. The power, the strength, the muscle of David Willey and the touch and finesse of Kane Williamson. 100 in T20 cricket, and he just knocks it around well. They're going to have to knock it for a while. Top edge going for the slog sweep. Just swirled on him a fraction, but he was always catching that.
Yeah, had a relatively quiet time of it thus far for Yorkshire in the blast. To take things by the scruff of the neck, and that strike rate there sort of belies the type of player you imagine him to be. Last year in the IPL, captain of the Sunrisers in the absence of David Warner, really stepped up to the mark, and that strike rate went through the roof, much like Ian Bell's done for the Bears this year. Reinvented himself as a player who can go at 150 and above.
Likes to run it down off the face, just to get off the mark. That's why they'll bowl very straight at him. Yeah, before that IPL, I think it was Simon Dool who was saying in New Zealand, maybe he should give up T20 cricket. Is it made for him? He went across there, had a brilliant tournament. We're going to miss.
I suppose the thing is, if he was to give that up, New Zealand play, what, four test matches in a calendar year this year? What's he going to play? I mean, a player of his class, the amount of test runs this guy can score, and New Zealand don't play any test cricket.
Catch him!
On an easy pitch to start on. That's why that wicket was vital. I think you said, Butch, it's the sort of surface you can lose 2 or 3 in a hurry. Already 3 dots after the wicket. Already Mullaney is having an effect on this game. 1 for 1 in 5 deliveries. Direct hit, and everyone's down there. Who's fallen over? The umpire's down. Neil Bainton has gone down in instalments there. Oh, I really hope umpire Cam had that. He's out for the count there. He's down. You're out.
Please umpire, Cam, yes. Keep your eye on the batsman. Hey!
Oh, you can't beat a bit of slapstick. One way of making yourself popular as an umpire.
I've never seen Rob Keane move as quick as he did in the pod there. He jumped out of his seat, giggling away. Samit Patel into the attack.
Where have they been? Samit and Mulaney, two guys you'd have wanted to bowl 8 overs on this circuit, surely.
Never get tired of looking at an umpire falling over.
Anybody falling over, for that matter.
Oh, there was something special about that. And that
Freddie,
reaction.
finals day, I mean, where are we? What are we giving numbers-wise? Ebony rain for Brent at the Oval the other week. Just can't beat it. Falling over. 50 for the skipper, David Willey. He had to work hard. He's made a couple of huge blows, as you would imagine him to do. But it's been a good knock, really good knock.
Been a good knock. It's been a good summer for David Willey. Start the summer, he wasn't sure of his place in the England side. He's got runs, he's got wickets, having a fine time of it. Oh, close, it's straightened. Some term, Patel, you're right, you could argue the best two bowlers are on here. 6, 7 overs to go now. I don't think they can bowl out, that's too many to bowl at the end. Close, isn't it?
I thought it was live, yeah.
Get it,
Williamson wants 2, but he was on his back foot, so he has that extra distance to run. Hard, slow sweep. Look at the Hawkeye of that LBW half shout, gripped. Just sneaking down. Umpire's call on height.
The umpire didn't give a call. There was an appeal, was there?
Just knocking it around. 1s and 2s, that's a good effort. Without taking a risk, they got 8 in that over. 106 for 2. Let's have a look around the country. Last round of the group stages, quarterfinals coming up. Who will get to quarterfinals? Birmingham, Worcester. Worcester won a home tie. They're going very, very well. Moeen Ali going very, very well. 13 short of 100, still reigning in that second game. Durham Derby. Essex going well. 5 overs to go, 142 for 3. Morgan 128 for 4. Gloucester 84 for 3. Klinger gets runs in T20 cricket. Shock horror. And Sussex 152 for 1 with 6 and a bit overs to go. That's going to be 200 plus. Now what's happened? He bowled 1 over and got 1 for 2. He got taken off. Explain, Mark Butcher.
So can we go back to Michael Klinger gets runs in 2020 cricket?
No, we know that. We want to know
Sunsets
why.
in the west.
Why someone who, yeah, we know that. Why someone who bowls 1 over 1 for 2 got taken off?
Ask me another. It's a cunning plan, obviously.
Rob Key has just shouted from the pod, "Why are you off?" Mulaney has shouted back, "Short boundary, leg side." In that sort of direction. Oh, it's long enough, that's fine.
Brilliant, Dan Christian. Awesome, awesome decision. Alex Hales takes the catch out there at Dimmeek wicket. And Nottinghamshire have a big, big breakthrough. Brilliant captaincy. Never listen to her saying.
I'm still lost. Why is it? Is it a longer boundary for when Fletcher bowls that side? Have they put the boundary back or something? Surely it's the same boundary. Willie's gone. He played brilliantly. But that's two batsmen who are in, who are out now. 51, 106 for 3.
Ready?
Ready.
Alexa, turn on the lamp.
Okay.
Oh no! Daisy!
Alexa, reorder tissues. Here's what I found.
Gary Balance comes in at number 5 and 2 new batsmen at the crease. 7 balls, Williamson. Balance yet to face. Well, had to be hit straight at Hales because I reckon either side of him, and this was either 4 or 6, possibly 6 actually, the way that was travelling. Hales made it look very easy.
Luke Fletcher's got a huge grin on his face because it was a filthy delivery, really, in truth. It's a long hop. Willie somehow has managed to deposit it straight at Alex Hales. Well done, Skip. That's why they pay you the big bucks.
Yeah. Last hands times it beautifully. The throwing today has been a little bit ordinary. I know they like to throw it in on the bounce. A couple of times Moores has had to shout. Just asking about the time there. We saw that last night. He has no idea what day it is at the moment. He's still recovering.
Birdie's tweeting around his hat. It's going to be tough, this. Two batters trying to get themselves in. They're quite right to try and take a bit of time. But Nottinghamshire, if they recognise the opportunity they presented themselves in having 2 new men in right now, climb all over these 2. Try to restrict this total as much as possible. It's not going to be an easy run chase, no matter what they're chasing. It's not a straightforward deck.
Compliment you can give someone like Kane Williamson is thinking about him as a captain. You sort of think, where does he go to? Where's his go-to areas for his big shots? And nothing springs to mind. It means he is 360, but in his own special way. Gets off strike with that little knockdown to third man. But he doesn't have one specific area. Down the ground. There's an example. He just hits in areas you don't think of. You don't think, well, Williamson's going to go there. So it's always a surprise.
Getting downhill, downwind as well. A couple of steps down. Not a bad plan, though. Take the pace off to both of these 2. Make them make the running.
Go on!
They want 2. Can Gary Balance get back? He's going to try. Direct hit, and that would have been tight.
looked like someone had a go at Sami Patel from deep mid-wicket for getting in the way of the
Yeah,
ball.
There'll be some old fogies happy with that because they say if you stand in front of stumps, direct hit might get taken out of the equation. You should know that that may be going on to hit the stumps. In the air, leg side, all the way, 6, dropped in the crowd, terrible catching.
Poor ball from Sami Patel. Real half tracker. Williamson so quick on his feet, just rocks onto the back foot. Alex Howes watches another one go. See another one drop. Hard hands in the crowd.
There you go, 3 boundaries in 3 different areas. Straight down the ground, pull 6, slog sweep mid-wicket.
You don't always have to muscle the ball over the sweepers. You can just pick your gaps. That's exactly what Williamson has done.
23 off 14 without really taking a risk. Into out, 4 boundaries in 4 different areas.
The Viking goes down as well. That's the best of them. It's just so good the way that he uses his feet, gets to the ball early, and then he's so aware of where he wants to hit the ball, manoeuvres his entire body so he can just lift it over extra cover, races away.
Oh, now, have a look. He's just over balance. Yeah, they're going to have a look. 4-2-6, 4-4 dot. 130 for 3 at the moment, maybe 130 for 4.
Like Sami Patel has much interest in the stumping. Already taken his cap, not really looking on. Does he just lift his foot at the wrong time? No.
Yeah, sometimes as a keeper, you just have to bide your time and wait and see if he overbalances and not go early. Went early, and Williamson was still in, 130 for 3.
It's getting close to that time when you're looking at maybe Bresnan or Plunkett to come in next. Plunkett hasn't played all the games this year in the Blast for Yorkshire, and at times they've just missed out on some power for the last few overs. It's been fine if Kohler, Cadmore, Lyth or Willie are still in.
Make a good point. I thought Somerset made an error last night that sent Tom Abel in ahead of Lewis Gregory. Lewis Gregory is their finisher, hits a big ball, did hit a big ball, and nearly won them the game. Tom Abel struggled yesterday. But you're right, promote one of the big hitters at this stage. Also ease the pressure on Williamson and Balance, who can just continue to play as they are. Cries of Yorkshire go up from the Western Terrace, trying to lift their side. Into out, safe.
At the moment you'd say they've been pretty smart. Problem is, sometimes this pitch you can just skid on in the next innings. Yorkshire should be hoping that's not the case. Alex Hales, who just fielded that ball, looking to go hard in the power play.
Good hands. There is a sweeper out there. Will he get round to it? No.
Makes it look so easy. Really even get down. Premeditates the reverse sweep, just flicks it.
Goes leg side. Should be out. Yup, is. Tails again.
Balance trots off. Short ball, can't put it away. Doesn't have the same sort of power David Willey has. David Willey can miss-hit them over there. Gary Balance just chips it really, and Alex Howes takes a simple catch in the end. Who's going in? Is it Plunkett? Is it Bresnan? Doesn't look like it. Gary Balance goes for 7-1-3-6 for 4.
Classic example of Ish Sodhi bowling it into the surface there. Spoke earlier about Carter, how he tossed it up. Sodhi dragged his length back, said, pull me for 6. Balance couldn't do that. Jordan Thompson comes out, number 6. Best of 12.
Anything else?
Just to back up our point, I mean, you'd think it would be one of the big hitters to come in.
Rolled into the surface. It's the sort of ploy that you do to the wrong man and they hit you miles, not Gary Balance.
Maybe left-hand, right-hand combination. They want to continue that. Tucked away, that should be an easy 2. $139 for 4.
So it is done. 4 overs, 1 for 33. Looks a spinning pitch, but you take one and, well, the premium spinner at 8.25 runs per over, you'd be pretty happy with that. Mullaney, just the 1 over so far, 1 for 2, was held back for what looked like too long a time, got a wicket and then got whipped out of the attack.
Those figures for Mullaney, 1 over, 2 runs, 1 wicket. Best death bowler in the world is on.
Should explain.
You were at the toss. The skipper said to you.
Well, I know what it is. I'm for people who didn't hear the toss.
Best death bowler in the world. The skipper called Harry Gurney. Hit over mid-off. Only question is 6 or 4. 4.
Mid-off up. Premeditated. Looking straight. Ball was exactly where he wanted it. Again, just the class of Williams. Finish as well. That high front elbow for the purist.
Missed out there. Williamson will be disappointed. I don't think that's a no ball. Wasn't high enough.
The seams are done. What's been the way to go? Pace off, length as well. Length has been the variable off this surface. Anything fuller than that, it still just slides on nicely. And check for the height of this. I reckon that's all right. Just. Strange field they had for Williamson with fine leg back and mid-off up.
Everyone out on the leg side. And take 2, he can just knock it on the leg side and run 2 if he wants. Oh, good grab that is. What a grab. Top of off stump. Flicked it through. Acrobatic take.
Tried to give himself some room. Play it through on the offside. Just probably wasn't expecting the ball just to skid on that little bit quicker. Jordan Thompson goes for 2. Still doesn't beat that high score of 12. 144 for 5.
Well, it is Bresnan time now. Sometimes you can overcomplicate it with left hand, right hand. Games like this, you want experience. Get your experienced players in. And Bresnan is definitely like that. Look at that. 164 matches.
So I think the more you watch T20 cricket over the last couple of years, teams are actually not making it complicated at all. What they're doing, they send in the big hitters and just tell them to keep on going. There was a time when you used to try and manoeuvre the middle overs. Not anymore.
Old. After that first delivery, he's come back beautifully here.
Change in the field. Fine leg comes up. Long off, mid off goes back to long off. As Brezzy got a little scoop in him. Oh, nice slower ball. Should be safe. Completely deceived Bresnan there. Brilliant slower ball. Might have a lot of experience, Tim Bresnan, but when you first come in, problem when you face Gurney as well, his quicker ball actually skips onto you that little bit quicker than you're expecting. So that makes the slower ball that more dangerous when you first come in. Some bowlers you can just set yourself with the slower ball, not with Gurney. He threw himself off his feet there, Kane Williamson. Very rarely does he look ungainly. He did there, 146 for 5. Oh, they want to get up 12 and over from here, gets them to 170. Powerhouse batting lineup for the Notts Outlaws. You'd say that's a minimum. Not a straightforward surface, but at times you see the ability to clear the boundary rope whenever you want. Really, at times when you've gone for the big shot, if you're David Willey, you've been able to do it. Well, what can they get from here? 170 will be a real bonus. 24 from the last two. That's a decent score on here. Can they get up to it? Good start from Fletcher. This is where they've got their experience, Notts. That's why don't rule them out. They've not had a great campaign, white ball cricket. But 2 wins and they're at finals day. They will be tough to beat because of the experience they've got. Fletcher's been there, done it. Mullaney, Gurney, Patel. Been around for a long time. He's completely Q-ended that. Oh, got to be keeper's end. Got to be keeper's end, surely. I think Bresnan's got in. Very rarely from that position should you throw at the keeper's end. Coach will tell you always throw bowler's end, but Williamson was so far down. Look, Williamson's back. Bresnan just got in. Direct hit and he was struggling. Wicket's off the fence, leg side. He's 20 yards in. Oh, good bowling. Every time we see it, whenever you see the batsman go to the leg side and the bowler follows him, they generally find, well, they manage to just hit the ball for at least a single. Any time you see the batsman go leg side and they go the opposite, wide of that off stump, you just can't reach that ball. That's the way that bowlers just have to program themselves. As soon as they see the batsman go, just throw it wide of that off stump at the death. Shimmy there from Tim Bresnan. That'll only be 1. That ever work? The shimmy? A little move like that. De Villiers and Butler and guys like that. I don't think it works. I think it doesn't fool the bowler. De Villiers would still hit it even if he moved out of the way. They say it's part of the shot. They did it once and it becomes almost part of the shot. 150 comes up, but it's been a really good couple of overs this for Nottinghamshire. Mid-off's up, and that's 4. That's twice they brought mid-off up for Kane Williamson. Twice the full toss has come, and it's gone away for 4. Carbon copy of what he did to Gurney. Misses the Yorker. Kane Williamson just puts it away so easily. What's that for his pad? See that all the time in club cricket. Nicely played, that's brilliant. That is just outstanding batting. Even guys in the dugout just
clap, and even Fletcher says, I can't beat that. Well played, 158 for 5. Let's have a look with 1 over to go, what's going on around the country. Such an important evening. Worcester have got 200 up with 1 over to go. Ali has got 100. They're going very well, don't worry about that next one, rain delay. Essex 195 for 6 with 3 balls to go. Wheaton made 40. The Morgan 176 for 7 with 4 balls to go. Gloucester 117 for 5, struggling with 2 overs and 2 balls to go. Sussex have got 200 with 8 deliveries to go. It's a good score there against a side who have really struggled, Middlesex. As it's Tim Bresnan, they're going to run to the keeper. Whoa. One person you don't want to take you out is Tim Bresnan. Come out of it all right. Tim Bresnan really struggling just to pick up the slower balls in particular. He's so early on that shot. Good again from Gurney. Yeah, it was a big comment from the skipper at the toss. Best bowler in the world, but you have to say, from what you've seen, he's been absolutely spot on. So you're agreeing with him? No, I'm just saying, good captaincy, back your bowler. You would argue that the bowler has delivered his skills perfectly so far with 4 deliveries to go. Best death bowler in the world? Who you go? Ty? Stark? Ty? Bumrah? Oh, out. No, he gets back, doesn't throw it. Doesn't want to risk the single. He's struggling there, Williamson. Slower ball, and how was this in the Yorker box? Perfect. He's got it all. He's got every variation. Slower ball, straight Yorker, wide Yorker. He hasn't hit any of those, well, the last 3 deliveries. Doesn't matter, because that little fumble means that Williamson is back on strike for the last 2. These are 2 big balls, 61 for 5. Oh, this is a masterclass in death bowling. It's had absolutely everything. Fair enough if you can fool Tim Bresnan, but something else when you're doing it to Williamson on 44. Can he finish it off? This has been one of the best final overs we've seen in T20 cricket this year. He can finish it off. That's outstanding from Gurney. It really is. They'll come back for 2, or they'll try and come back for 2. They're going to have a look upstairs, but Gurney has absolutely nailed that over. Williamson got his bat stuck in the ground here. Skids it along, just short of his ground. What an excellent bit of bowling, some bit of work as well from Gurney. Sometimes you can forget about the power play in the middle overs if you can just come back and finish strong at the death. That's exactly what they have done. Big screen says out. Gurney has a big smile on his face. Big call from Dan Christian at the start of the toss where he said Gurney is probably the best death bowler in the world. Well, he hasn't disappointed tonight. It's an okay pitch. It's a little bit tired. It's used. And spin was the way to go up front. And it was spin that got the first wicket. Cadmore went second delivery from Carter on debut. Runs in the middle. Lythe, Willie and Williamson. No finisher, though, there in that line-up for Yorkshire. They didn't get as many at the death as they would like to. Man who we thought would be the real handful on this surface, Mullane. He bowled 1 over, 1 for 2, then got whipped out of the attack. Really rung the changes, did Dan Christian, but Harry Gurney, 4 overs, 1 for 16, an economy of 4. He bowled excellently. His last over went for just 5. Let's get down to Mark Butcher. Who have you got, Butch?
NASA, I've got Adam live with me. Adam, well played. What's your assessment of that score?
Yeah, I think, well, we're in the game, 160 odd. I would have liked another 10 more, but Harry bowled a fantastic last over there, so unfortunately we couldn't get it away. But yeah, it took a little bit of spin. It was sticking a little bit in the pitch, so our cutters and cross seamers going to come into play.
Yeah, you spent a bit of time out there in the middle. Was it slightly difficult to time the ball?
Yeah, I mean, I found it really tough, and Dave as well. We were speaking out in the middle. 140, 150 would be a good score, and Kane's played a fantastic knock there to get us to 160 odd. So, look, we're in the game, over to the bowlers, and hopefully we can take some early wickets, and we're right in them.
You guys haven't picked a specialist spin bowler. Does that mean Adam Lyth is going to be the man with the spin tonight?
Yeah, I think I might bowl a few overs. Hopefully keep my foot behind the line and no ball. So yeah, so hopefully I can bowl a few tight overs and get a couple of wickets.
And your support from the Western Terrace are going to get you over the line?
I hope so. Look, a few early wickets. They've got some dangerous players at the top of the order, so if we take a couple of early wickets, hopefully they'll get right behind us.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Well, as Adam Lyth said there, Yorkshire are in the game, but that was such a good last over from Harry Gurney, just going for 5. It could have been even better for the home side. As it is, Notts Outlaws need 164